What is going on, New York Giants fans? How you living? Hit Squad back at it with another video, and in today's video we're going to be doing another first round mock draft video. Now today this is going to be the 2.0. These videos are so much fun because the Giants can approach the draft in a variety of different ways. We're not entirely sure how the draft is going to play out. I mean, you're hearing about players' stock rising, players' stocks falling. I mean, this is going to be a very crazy draft, and who knows how the outcome of this draft can go. It never really goes how we think it's going to go. But before we get into that, I want to encourage everyone, if you're new to the channel, join the Hit Squad. Join the Hit Squad, hit the subscribe button, intercept the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts below. It would help out the channel. We're trying to hit 400 subscribers, so become a member and join the Hit Squad. Now, let's get into this video. Now, in my last video with the mock draft 1.0, I had us taking Akeem Nkwonu and David Ojabo in a trade back to the 9th overall pick. Now, in this video, we're going to approach this a little bit different, okay? Now, let's start this off right. With the 5th overall selection, I have us taking offensive tackle Evan Neal out of Alabama. Now, you can make a very solid argument that he is, if not the best tackle in this draft, at least 1B. You know, for me, I'm more of a fan of Akeem Nkwonu. I think that they're both very good players. I know that, you know, Evan Neal has some things that he has to work on, and we're going to talk about that in this video. But this dude has a lot of strengths. I mean, he's 6'7", 360 pounds. I mean, he has massive size with his weight and his height. One thing that I really do like about Evan Neal is his strength. He's a very powerful dude. He has natural strength. When you look at his hands, he has some heavy hands. One thing that I will say about Evan Neal is that not only does he have some length to him, you know, he's a very violent blocker. He's a very violent blocker. When you look at the film, he finishes his blocks well. He can overpower defensive linemen. You know, another thing that he does very well is that he plays with a mean streak. And honestly, that's what you want, especially in your offensive lineman. And the New York Giants right now, outside of Andrew Thomas, we're going to need at least 4 offensive linemen. Whether we do that in the draft or in the draft in free agency, the Giants have to use one of these first-round picks on an offensive lineman. And for me, it has to be Evan Neal with that 5th overall selection. Now, there are some cons to him. I mean, he can have some problems with some speedy rushers. I mean, in this division and in the NFC East, you know, you have Chase Young, you have Micah Parsons, who he's incredibly fast, so that could definitely be a problem. You know, he's not a gifted athlete, so when you compare him to a player like Akeem Nkwonu, who's very versatile, you know, they're not really the same, you know, so that could definitely be a problem for Evan Neal. You know, I did notice that his feet can get stuck when he's in pass protection, you know, and that can be a problem, especially in Brian Daboll's offense, where he likes to throw the ball around, he likes to stretch the field, you know, so you can make an argument that maybe Evan Neal may not be the best fit for this offense for what Brian Daboll is trying to do. But, you know, another con that he has as well is I think honestly that he has some problems redirecting, you know, especially with stunts. In my honest opinion, that's one of his biggest issues that he has. And honestly, can you risk it? Yeah, of course, those are coachable things. But for me, I mean, that's still a problem. So if we can get that fixed up, you're talking about a very, very prominent right tackle player. I mean, we're talking about for the next decade. And if you're telling me that we got Andrew Thomas on one side and Evan Neal on the other side, you know, protecting our quarterback regardless of who it is, sign me up. Now, if you watched my last video, I did again trade back to the 9th overall pick, and we selected David Ojabo out of Michigan. In this draft, I wanted to approach it different, like I stated. So we're not going to trade back in this pick. And with this pick, we are going to select Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa. Let me tell you something. If there is one player in this draft that I absolutely love, it is Tyler Linderbaum. This dude is a monster. I know a lot of people are very skeptical of taking him, you know, within the top 10. But for me, man, I mean, you cannot pass up on Tyler Linderbaum. You know, having a prominent and dominant center, that's going to help you, not only help your offensive line, but it's going to help your quarterback a lot. And I think that that's really important, and it's honestly really underrated on your offensive line. Now, Tyler Linderbaum, I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, he's a very aggressive player. He's very smart. I think that one of his pros, honestly, is that he understands how to use his hands. And when you look at the film, I mean, he wins almost every battle in the trenches. I mean, there are some games where he's beat, I'll give him that much, but for the most part, I mean, he's winning every battle. I mean, he's athletic overall. When you look at his movement skills, I mean, they're very impressive. They're very impressive. And one thing that I love about Tyler Linderbaum is his ability to move upfield. Honestly, I mean, I've seen some people say like a tight end, but, he generates some speed, and when he reaches the second level, I mean, he has some massive pop to him, man. I mean, it's really something else, especially when you consider, a center. I think a lot of people really look at players like, Quentin Nelson, who he's not a center, but, when you look at the offensive guard position, I mean, we're talking about a player that hasn't been as rated as high since Quentin Nelson, and there's a lot of things to like about him. His pass blocking is solid. His run blocking is solid. His footwork is solid. I mean, he has nice mechanics. Again, he's athletic. He has some nice length to him as well. There's a lot of things to like about this kid and very few negatives. I mean, to me, lock up this offensive line, and regardless of whoever's at quarterback, whether it's Daniel Jones, hopefully he can succeed behind this offensive line. And if it's not Daniel Jones, you're bringing in your next quarterback into a better situation than what you brought Daniel Jones in. So for me, this is a home run first round. You lock up the offensive line. You get 2 stud players that could be on your offensive line for the next decade, and you go then attack your next needs in the rounds after. So for me, I think this is a solid draft. What would you have done different? Let us know your thoughts below. Do you like who we selected? Who would you have selected? Let us know again. We'll see you guys in the next video.
This has been a Big Blue Crew production.